Hello, this is Amy Brown, stand-up comedian and the host of Nerdy Fourth. This is my seasonal gift to all of you. It's all of my favorite clips from my podcast from this year. My birthday's on Christmas Eve, December 24th. So it's if you don't celebrate Christmas, you can just celebrate the birth of me. You're welcome. What is your favorite African food? Is it lion? No. That's terrible.
I'm the favorite food for lion.
I know. They eat people. They ate all the people
Actually,
making the railroad.
No, they eat a lot of white people in
That's because we're dumb.
The white people are dumb enough to go out there where the lions are. Everyone's like, "What are you doing?"
They're like, Actually, there's a white person in South Africa that was almost I think she was eaten. She wanted a selfie.
Yeah.
That sounds.
She's like, I want a selfie.
I believe this fully. I believe that right now there's a white woman in Africa getting a selfie with a lion and getting eaten up.
Let's start a GoFundMe. Every 7 minutes, a white woman in Africa gets eaten by a lion. Send money.
Send money to Africa to save. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Have you ever held a ferret?
What is a ferret?
Oh, it's a creepy animal. It's like a guinea pig, but extra long.
Like a long.
No, hell no. No. I've had guinea pigs, but not a ferret.
Have you seen a hamster?
That's like a mouse.
Yes.
Without
like the tail.
Smaller guinea pig, essentially.
What? Without a tail?
No, yeah, it doesn't have a long tail.
Oh no. It's a rat to us.
It's the hamster.
The same to us, like a hamster and a rat. They are the same thing to me.
Have you gone out west and seen like the things that live in the holes? Not the
meerkats or prairie dogs?
Prairie dogs. Have you seen prairie dogs?
No,
they have the plague. Don't touch them.
Oh, really? Yeah. Why are you telling me this? Like I'm gonna touch one. Like I'm.
No, I'm a white woman. I'm gonna get eaten by a lion.
No, I say once again, he comes from cultures that understand. Don't go mess with wild animals.
You're right.
Don't touch them.
You gotta tell white women you can't touch these things. They'll give you the plague.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is like, I'm just not gonna do this.
Yes, it's just not gonna happen.
If it's furry, I'm touching it.
That's
okay.
No.
That's a terrible way to. How are you alive?
That is terrible.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised a lion didn't bite your arm off.
I mouth kiss my dog. Okay, that's where we're at. Have you ever held a ferret?
Yes, recently at a show. A dude had a ferret at a show. What? You're also talking to a girl who raised 2 squirrels. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. You're a squirrel lady.
And here's what I said to the guy who had the ferret on a leash at the brewery show I was doing
on
in
a
Sugar
leash.
Hill.
How much pussy
he comes
is he
walking
slaying?
up to none. 0 pussy if you're walking around with a fucking ferret. Dude,
I've never heard of
it is a fuzzy phallic rodent is what I called it. And he's like, technically, it's not a rodent. So this dude is not getting pussy in any way whatsoever.
It's a little robotic.
Technically, and I was like, okay, well, it looks like a fucking rat. So you gotta calm down.
And then you held it.
Yeah,
you held his rat.
I held it, and it smelled disgusting. It was so gross. Yeah, I've held them. They're very loose. They are like that little plasticky thing that is full of glitter and oil or whatever, that thing we played with as a kid. That's like the little slippery thing. Yeah. That is what a ferret is. It is that thing.
Malleable.
Yes, very malleable. Yeah, it feels like just like jerking off an eel.
Oh,
like a fuzzy eel.
And you jerked off the ferret.
Sure. Yep. Mm-hmm. You can't help but you're trying to just hold it, and then you end up jerking it off.
They're very long.
It is very It is a whole thing.
Have you ever held a ferret?
I'm not a white person. No.
Oh my God.
I'm sending this clip to learn more right now.
Why has he held a ferret?
No. She just, when Learn More Gymnastics came on, she just kept asking all these questions. She kept being like, "I'm not. That's white women shit."
I know. Learn More and I get along really well because he's like everything from Zimbabwe and Puerto Rico. He's like, we're like, are we the same? Yeah.
I will say, here's my brag on that. Side note is that I have been to not one but 2 Repticons because the children love reptiles.
The reptile society.
2
Okay,
Repticons.
what is this word? Let me write it down.
No, don't write it down.
Isn't it what is
I'll
it
find you.
And if I say it 3 times, will I summon it?
A man with a mullet from Florida will show up and give you.
He's like, "Hey, you want to hold
You
this
want to hold my
snake?
snake?"
No, seriously.
Give me $5 and some chew.
I am serious. hilarious that is not like I am prone to hyperbole. I will tell you, I cannot hyperbole Repticon.
Yeah.
It is real. It is a real man from Florida. Like not a made up story. It is like
It's a person. I thought
if you have bred a gaggle of snakes in your living room in a tub that you would store Christmas decorations in, you can get a booth at ReptileCon, and it is terrifying. I mean, wonderful.
I have a friend. They love ReptileCon.
I would go and murder every single animal.
No, I will tell you, there's tarantula displays.
I've got a shovel, and I'm not afraid to use it.
No, I don't.
You're like,
But again, as someone who's done a lot of writing
come.
and branding, I'm like, wow, you've got very creative with your names. Like, I wouldn't have thought of like Amy's Tarantulas. Wow, a lot of business. Easy to find the website though.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this kind of brings us into the next one. Do you have an aquarium/terrarium?
The children do. We own a toad.
What have you given into? Tell me, and I'll hold your hand.
No,
and we
I
can
don't.
get through
You
this
don't wanna know.
together.
Here's the thing. They're in
The
high school.
children are only going to be here for a minute.
They could be doing weirder things than
the
this.
table.
Aren't we were saying, like, I'm sorry, we're touching the table. Everyone who has had to order cockroaches from the internet to feed something,
Oh God.
we're here for you.
Oh my God. Oh. My mic.
It was the reptiles coming for you,
That's
Amy.
what it
That's
was.
what it
That's
was.
No, that was like the ghost of the Florida
Yeah.
man knocking it over for
I've
you.
seen like a friend got a snake for her child, and it was this like. It was a Facebook post, and one person wrote, "It's all fun and games until you have a dead rat thawing on your countertop." Like, nope.
No, and I drew the line at a toad. A toad eats worms, and I'm like, I will tolerate a toad, and I will tolerate worms. That is where my line gets drawn. You're gonna have to go get tattoos or piercings after this. I can't help you after toad.
I 1000% support you, and this is good. It's good to have boundaries.
It's good to have boundaries.
It really is. Oh my God. Have you ever owned or held a tropical bird?
Define tropical.
Okay. Yes. What was the
'Cause-
bird? Was it a crow?
Well, I mean,
You grew up in Flowery Branch, Georgia.
I
right?
did, but I've caught like a seagull once.
You caught a seagull?
Yeah.
You
That's
buried
wild.
the lead.
So
you should come into every room.
But that's
break
a tropical
down the door.
bird, right?
Well, it's a seabird.
I didn't like it. It was very quick.
How did you trap it?
I grabbed it and then it freaked out and I freaked out and then it flew off.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's not the same thing as being your friend.
I wouldn't say like I held it.
He didn't say he was friends with. He said he caught it.
I thought it was your friend.
No, I think
I thought you were Ariel.
No, I touched it with both hands and it screamed and I screamed and then it flew away.
Well, you had a moment.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I guess that's tropical,
That's most.
right?
That is actually most social experiences for me. Is coming,
Yeah.
squawking, and grabbing.
Yeah.
Are you the seagull or
No,
the...
she's both of you. She's squawking and she's grabbing people,
I'm scaring
and then
people.
everybody screams.
Yeah.
Just a grabby squawker.
Yeah.
It's too much. My children keep telling
She's
me.
actually the utter tugger.
The utter tugger.
Plot twist.
That's the
We just pulled off the mask like
yeah,
Scooby Doo.
Yeah. That's the third act reveal.
Amy Brown.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if you just walked up on a cow or a horse or a goat and out of nowhere just grabbed its teeth? It would kick the shit
Yeah, I
out
was
of
gonna
you.
say you would die because they
You
would
would
just
die.
kick you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would think it was a predator. Or, okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Also, if you do it to humans, you're a predator.
Yeah, don't do it either.
So
Yes, and
don't
there's-
don't tug udders. That if you take away one thing from this podcast,
Just throw your baby in the pool.
throw
If you
your
take
baby
away
in the
two
pool.
things.
Two things. It's don't tug udders and make sure your baby is drown proof.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, right. Do you have a Harry Potter wand?
I do have a Harry Potter one. Do I? No, I don't. But I love Harry Potter books. I loved them. And so when I was in LA, I went to Harry Potter World with my boyfriend and I borrowed the wand from my friend Irene too, who's also a comic. And I just didn't have $75 to spend on the wand. So she let me borrow hers and I went to every single one, pushed the little children aside and was like, let me outside. Oh, I loved it. It was so much fun. I should have worn my cape.
Perfect place for a cape. Next time.
Missed opportunity.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a sword or been made to hold one?
If you've dated a guy that's in art school, you've been to a guy's apartment with a sword and they like to make you hold that sword and then and then think that I'm going to hold their sword.
Ayo.
You know, it's just not.
It's like you
never
want
gonna
something
work.
long and hard.
Yeah, you want something. Yeah. You want to see the samurai sword, and that's If I see a man over 30 that has a sword in their apartment when I walk in, I have a lot of. He better be super hot.
You better be holding
I
that
still
first.
have questions, but otherwise I'm going to be like,
Oh my gosh. Like,
Gotta go.
ideally, it's like a great-great-grandfather's. And he's like, I just didn't know what to do with it, so I put it on the wall. Now we use it to cut limes when we make margaritas. That's like the perfect person.
Yeah, right.
But if it's any other one,
Yeah.
it's like,
it's I know that this is a giant sword, but I have it for practical use. Like, no, I don't. But I have held swords.
I wonder if people can become aroused when they hold some part of the
People become aroused with
hold swords.
everything.
You know
anything.
what? The older I get, the more I think you're right. I'm just.
There's a lot of Reddit forums that have specialty niches.
My children told me I'm not allowed on there.
Yeah. Okay. Then no, that's probably good.
Protecting me.
best.
That's for the 100% for the best. Yeah.
Art school sword boys. Have you ever held a sword?
Absolutely, I have.
have?
Yeah, I was a big like sword flea market kid too.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
sword
yeah.
flea market kid.
Yeah, we'd go to the
That's
flea
a
market.
lonely child.
Yeah. Oh well, it's just like you go to the flea market and you don't want any of the adult things. Then you pass by like the sword stand, and he has
Sword stand's the best.
the sword stand's the best. You're like, what? You have a broadsword and you have the fucking the blade from Star Trek. It's
and
like,
then
yes,
your
I'll
parents
touch
want
that.
you to get away from it because you're like, this is the coolest guy ever. You're like, you gotta.
Yeah, they're like, he is not.
This man.
I guarantee yes.
This is a sad, sad man.
Get
I'm
away
not,
from the sword man in his van.
I'm not trying to raise you up.
Yes.
He's got a sword van.
You're like, oh man, I want to be just like him. I wish I could be at the flea market every weekend
Amy,
selling swords.
Amy, you love your kids.
Don't let him go near the sword
No,
man
no.
in the
What
van.
if? How would you feel if later in life they became the sword guy to flea market?
Oh my gosh, that would be so many questions because they are so into science right now, and they're doing math all the time. I'm like, I would be like, they started doing drugs.
Oh, 100. If they
And
were like,
it's
I'm going to
just-
be a dagger kid, you're
put
like, all right.
put some water out on the fire that is their brains of learning, and they just want to do well. You can learn a lot about swords, but I think there's a finite amount you can learn about swords, and then you just coast for a long time and try to make money selling them.
Absolutely.
And I don't think they'd have it would be stimulating enough.
Yeah.
However, I love my children, and anything they choose to do, I will support them in.
If they
as long
want to
as,
get into blacksmithery, why not?
oh
Hey?
yes, that's it's a great hobby.
The swordmen at flea
They
markets
are
are
making.
not.
They're not making.
They're not going into a.
They're not
forge.
smelting. No,
They're
no,
going up to
no.
Pigeon Forge, buying the off-brand
Yes.
flawed swords.
do they have a
and-
ponytail in this scenario?
Oh,
every every sword man?
yes.
We're talking like halfway down the back minimum.
Yeah, literally, yes. They don't let you sell swords if you don't have the ponytail.
Do they have a
Yeah.
ponytail? And do they is that why they have so many split ends? Is because they're
Yeah.
trying to see how sharp the sword is
Oh,
on the back of their
100%.
ponytail?
They have like one of those roller coaster. You must be this tall, but
Honestly,
it's for the ponytail.
you want to know? You want to know where you're
Yeah,
getting the best deal? That's a horseshoe bald ponytail swordsman.
Yeah.
That guy.
No, nothing in the middle
Not-
but long
Oh,
points.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Hey,
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
gonna cut you a deal.
That
Hell
guy, yeah.
He wants to get this
He's
katana
behind
off
them,
his
Rance.
hands. Yeah, yeah.
He's got people hounding him at all times. He's got to move these swords.
Oh,
And he's got
yes,
a little bit
yeah.
of a facial hair.
Oh yeah, he's got a little bit of a
soul
goatee.
patch. Yes.
Mutton chops.
100%. Yeah.
A leather jacket.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Or just a tank top, or what is the one green Zelda shirt that everyone had? Yes.
The green Zelda shirt. Do you know?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Just
Full green shirt on sale at Walmart. Zelda symbol.
oh
right
yeah,
now.
Like it looks like a tunic, but it's a t-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That man's got to move those swords. He's got alimony payment.
Yes, that man will throw in some shurikens if
Yeah.
you just
Oh,
buy
yeah.
them right now.
Are there some 1980s wraparound sunglasses on top of his head?
Oh, there's at one point there's
At one point there, yeah.
he's doing like it's the one where they have like the little connector to it, but he has it backwards still, which makes no sense.
Yeah. It's like, okay, fella, they're already off your body.
yeah.
We painted a whole picture.
We're
of this
painting a
guy.
picture here.
And here's the thing:
A black
this is
sneaker.
a sad man.
Yes. Hey.
But I don't think they feel sad. I feel like they're.
I think they're just dead inside.
Yeah, I think once you're at the
really?
flea market selling the swords, it's like I have to move 15 more broadswords to pay child support payments.
And I'm not
Oh,
saying
yeah,
that I
yeah,
think
yeah.
everyone at a flea market as a vendor is sad.
Not
I'm
at all.
talking specifically
The sword guy.
man. Yes, yes.
Swordsman.
What if
Yes.
they're like an extrovert and they just go to hang out with people and show off their swords?
Yeah, I think it's mostly
Yeah.
I gotta move these swords. Yeah, yeah.
But I met him when I was in high school, right?
So you guys are high school sweethearts.
Well, he was actually a college student when I was
You
high
slut!
school. I know. I met him at a Sonic, and he was in like a white van with two other college guys.
A white van? That's a red
yeah,
flag.
Yeah.
Wait, did it have
really
windows?
Nondescript. White panel van. The kind serial killers use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it tight.
He was like, "Hey, you ever been in the pictures? Come on,
I
get
got
in the van."
I've got some nice saws in my basement I want to show you.
Well, they actually did, get us to come over by waving their hand, and there were
you
three
went
of
over?
us.
Oh, my
So we went over to their van, and
you could
he's
take
like,
them.
"Yeah."
You're
He's like,
5
"Come
feet
on,
tall.
jump in.
Jump
we
in.
have pillows in the back," and I'm like, "Sure, yeah." And my other friends were like, "What the hell are you doing?" But I did jump in, and he held my hand, and we started dating.
You held his hand
Yeah,
right away in the van?
Yeah, I was between him and another guy, and the other guy was up front with one of my friends, driving, and then one of my friends was back there sitting far away from all of us. And I was like, "Who's gonna hold my hand first? I wonder who's gonna hold my hand."
So if that other guy would have grabbed out,
You would have been of a different life.
My life would have been So
It's all you need to do is get a van,
Well-
lure some women
This
into
is
it,
this
and then hold the hand.
No,
This
not
is-
not
what-
anymore. This
No,
is
no.
we're in a different time now. If somebody says to get in my van and I have pillows in the back, you don't say
You
anything.
run.
You leave.
You run.
you run.
You go.
Yeah.
Oh my van hand.
Yeah,
This is like
yeah.
swiping left or right. It's van left or right. Hand.
Well, I was hoping it would be him because I remember I put my hand. I loved the way he looked because he was so tall, and I was so short. So anyway, I put my hand in my lap that was by the other guy, and I put this hand on the floor, and then he grabbed it.
And then he
so,
put. That's a
yeah.
pretty big move for someone
Yeah.
you just met them.
Well, I know, but you got to think this was in the 70s, the
chicka
70s.
bow bow.
It's where you had like payphones on every corner, and your parents would say, "Hey, call us if you're going to be late," thinking how safe it is to pull over into this dark parking lot with this payphone, looking for change all by yourself. I'm surprised Ted Bundy didn't come by and say, "Hey, can you help me find a puppy?" I probably would have said, "Sure." I was stupid. I was not the brightest egg in my mama's fallopian tube. I was stupid. So.
I think you're young, and it was the 70s.
Yeah.
You're a good person too.
Right.
I'm very trusting. I say I have I'll get in your van face, and you literally got in the van.
Yeah, I did.
Well, there were sororities then. It was the late 60s. There was two different kinds of people at school. There was a Peter Pan collar girls, and there was
Sluts. Just kidding.
like an Animal House. The sororities
Preppy.
in that. Yeah,
Was it preppy, or was that prior to preppy? Because preppy's the 80s.
yeah. They
Conservative.
looked like
I had to look up what that meant.
A Peter Pan collar.
Yeah, I get it.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a white little thing
and
with
the
a sweater.
plaid wool skirt with the knee socks and the loafers.
Asking
and then
for it.
there was but then there also was bell bottoms, like leather vests, hippies, long hair, yeah. So the only sororities were these Peter Pan collar girls, and we were sort of more the hippie group, and so we started our own group of girls. Mm-hmm. Psi Iota.
How do you? Oh, Psi. So okay.
PSI Iota. And our pin, of course, everybody had these beautiful gold
Oh yeah, we get
enameled
pinned.
pins. We used a safety pin as our pin.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it basically so we could be in the contest. They had beer chugging contest the fraternities
The
did.
fraternities did.
And
not with the other sororities.
Until we started competing in them, none of the sororities
Yeah, they're not
competed
beer
in them.
chugging. They're going to get it on their
I gotta
cashmere.
say, this already sounds like a good pitch for a movie where you're like, you make your own like low rent sorority, and you're like, we only did this because we want to go get hammered and go out drink.
Well, we had several young ladies who
Are you saying that sarcastically?
who could literally just open their mouth and swallow a beer.
yeah.
Like open their throat?
Yeah. And
I've heard of
they
this
could
tale.
shoot a beer, which is where you take the beer can and you
I'll get you a beer can, Mom.
Yeah,
you want to do
you
it
start-
for
the thing
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
bottom and you go like that.
Shotgun.
I was not one of
Shotgunning.
them. I was not one of them. I was
Okay,
like
'cause-
the cheering coach for for this group of women.
You're good at yelling.
Yeah. And we never really won, but we were second a couple times out of 8
Fraternities?
fraternities. Yeah.
That's great. Once again, great pitch for a movie.
Yeah. Did
And-
you have a girl on there named Dump Truck? With her nickname?
No. And we also learned skills. Like I think that was left over from my father. I could tap a keg. I could do,
Your father taught you to tap a keg?
well, just the engineering part I understood.
okay.
And this is when you used to have a big rod that you had to stick down through the keg. And if you didn't do it right, the rod could shoot up in the air and kill somebody.
Oh my gosh. High stakes.
Before the Stevens tap, which was just a turn thing.
I didn't
So
know about the rock. I just knew about
Who is
the.
this woman?
Yeah.
Like she always comes up with this weird information always.
And we knew how to, like, kegs were in giant metal things. We used to got only about a half a keg usually. But third floor of a dorm, you had to like roll it up the stairs, and then you could not tap it then because
all
it would blow
bubbly.
up. So you have to take it in the shower and put cold water on it for a half an hour,
Okay.
and then you can tap it.
Oh.
Things like that.
You're
They're
like
very
a
useful.
sommelier of kegs. Is your Italian family from like the mafia in New Jersey area?
Long Island.
Long Island's okay.
But we did have
Mafia roots?
Yeah. I mean, none of
Is that
my
why-
living
is that-
family right now.
Is that why
Like-
your grandmother had all that power?
Well,
She knew somebody. She knows
She's
some
done
people.
true crime podcast. She knows not to incriminate herself right now.
No, it was on my grandfather's side, her husband's side. So my grandmother's husband's side.
Yeah, so she knew how to she knew how to command respect, or you're going to be sleeping with the fishes.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah. Did she say that to you ever?
I remember one time when I was married, before I was married, I remember she said to me one time, she goes, I was talking to her on the phone and she was like, how are you? How's your love? And I was like, he's fine. And she goes, because I told him last time I saw him that if he ever does anything to hurt you, grandma's connected. And I laughed and I was like, no, we're not. And like, she was like, what do you think we did? And I was like, what do you mean?
Wow.
And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, talk to your mother. And then I asked my mom and I was like, Mom, grandma says we're connected. Like, she's kidding, right? And she was like, well. And so then it was my mom's grandfather that was actually murdered.
Oh.
Because
Oh,
of the mafia.
Because of the mafia.
And so
Wow.
there's all these like tales about all this money being hidden in a house in upstate New York, but people have went and looked for it, but
They couldn't find it.
tore open the walls, couldn't find anything.
So your grandfather hid the money and then he was knocked off. Is
my
that the-
mother's grandfather.
Your mother's grandfather. So he hid the money.
He was murdered outside of his restaurant.
Oh,
It's very
that's such an Italian sentence. Was he holding a cannoli at the time? Let's make this more Italian.
I don't know, but it's it
Did
was
he have
just
like a glass?
Love that you're adding
the only
props
reason
to
I'm
this
even-
murder
A
story.
glass of wine, not a wine
Yeah.
glass, just a cup with wine in it.
The only reason I'm
Red
even
wine.
saying this is because but when my grandmother was still alive, there was a comedian. His name was Sam G. Do you remember Sam G?
Yeah.
And he had a podcast and had me on it and wanted to talk about the mafia. And I before I told my grandmother that I was doing this podcast, I planned to talk about like The Sopranos and Goodfellas and just movies that I liked. And my grandma was like, I'll talk to him. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. And so like Sam called my grandmother, and she, and I'm so happy that we did this because I have a recording of her voice.
Yeah.
But she spilled the beans, and she was like, why do I care? I'm going to die any day now. So she like told him everything. It was really funny. Yeah. So I feel okay with talking about it.
Right? Does she know who stole the art out of that museum in Boston? No,
I don't think so.
Never mind. I don't know a lot about the mafia. So Stanley Tucci has a series about Italian food, and he goes,
love it.
I love it too. You can watch it on the airplane and just get hungry. And he goes to all these different provinces in Italy and tries to find the best food there. And he went to the southern province that's near Sicily, and I guess it's still terribly bullied by the mafia there. And people try to start restaurants, and then if you don't give the mafia money, they'll burn your restaurant down.
Yeah.
And it's like in today days, like during like not like a couple years, like not in the 30s when you think about mafia stuff happening.
What's funny is, so our name is Pizzo, or which I guess in Italy is pizzo, and it's like in Italian it means it's the tariff, it's the tax that you pay to the mafia. And so when my uncle went to Sicily to be like, I'm here, where's my family? Like to like talk about and like learn about his family, and they found out he was a pizzo. They were like, you don't say that here. Like don't tell anybody that
use
that's
your mother's
name.
maiden name.
Yeah, because they don't take kindly. Yeah. So
to tariffs. Yeah, that'd be like your name's like, I'm a state tax.
I'm an IRS.
I have a theory.
Although it's all the extra hormones probably makes us just freakishly big now.
I have a theory that if aliens are eating humans,
okay,
America is the feedlot where we come to get fattened up before they come pick us up.
What a fun theory.
Yeah. It's like we're like the Wagyu beef. We're like, it's Americans.
Yeah.
Oh, we're more expensive on the alien menus.
Yeah, they just showed us like VR and TV because that's like our veal cages, so we don't move a lot, so we get
Absolutely.
And they don't want us to be stressed. They want us to have very peaceful, rich lives here in the United States.
Here's therapy so you can just calm it down, stop working those muscles.
Prozac.
Yeah. You don't want an investment banker. They're so stressed.
Yeah.
You want somebody.
Oh my gosh.
Now we're teetering into cannibalism.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not cannibalism. The aliens are eating us.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
How's your mom feel about cannibalism?
It didn't come up naturally when we were kids.
Shoot a quick text, just no context.
I think because I didn't
we
grow up.
We watched Book of Eli together, and I think she did not like that part.
Okay.
But that's all I got.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with religion, so the parts that people are
we don't eat people.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
I don't know what they focus on.
I'm gonna say a lot of. I don't really think there's a lot of groups that are pro cannibalism. I think cannibals are, but I don't think that's like.
Is it in the Bible?
But we do communion, which is eating the body of Jesus.
Yeah, I know that part.
So that's as close as we get, though.
And then how come it's the blood of Christ, and then the Baptists aren't allowed to drink?
Andrew, answer all these.
Well, they
questions.
drink grape juice.
Yeah.
But that's not the blood of Christ.
It's the idea of it.
But they're changing the rules. Like, there's rules or there's not rules?
Listen, this is a bigger conversation.
Yeah, Andrew, do you want to take back for the thousands of years of religious practices and be the sole voice?
There's two fundamental. No.
Yeah.
What's the next?
Right now, it's the U.S. government has alien ships and biologics.
How many books have you read about aliens? Because my son says it's all BS.
I mean, as far the probability of another intelligent life being out there is still kind of high if you accept the whole expansion
how big
of the
the world
universe
is,
and just how big the universe is in the multiverse idea. So I don't believe in. And I don't know if there's an afterlife. I don't know if there are gods or demons or angels. I don't know of any of that stuff. I'm borderline atheist when it comes to that stuff. I definitely think there are aliens. Now, have we made contact with them? Have they made contact with us? If you want a good sci-fi novel, that won awards was a Chinese author. He won, I forget the award was for like best sci-fi novel. It's called The Three Body Problem.
Three Body Problem.
Yeah, and that one, and then a sequel was called The Dark Force. The Dark Force, surprisingly, is very accurate what most, I guess you could say, extraterrestrial sociologists and psychologists think would have, like actual experts that say, if we encountered an intelligent alien race that can like fly here with a ship or whatever, it's probably bad news for all of us. It's because
It's
they're
the Spartans coming.
It's probably the Spartans or the Persians coming.
The Persians coming, and there's gonna be you guys are gonna have to fight them off with your choreography.
I'm like, just make it quick, bro. Just shoot me quick, phase me, whatever it is. I don't want to live through the mess.
I know, right? Do you feel that way? That's how old I am. I'm like, you know what? If it gets really bad, I'm just gonna check out.
Yeah, I mean, I would, but you're a mom, so you'd be like, all right, I just want to make sure the kids are okay. And then once they're okay, it's like, all right, whatever happens.
No, my girlfriend, she has the determination to make it an apocalypse, and I tell her all the time, I'm like, I love you. I'm gonna go to the party where we're all like, I'm gonna die after this weekend. Like this, I can't do this. I'm gonna take all the resources and get a lot of booze and drugs, and that's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, you got 24 hours to live. What are you gonna do? It's like, I'm gonna do every drug imaginable.
I'm not. I produce comedy podcasts and do video editing. I don't have a lot of skills. When the grid goes down.
But you look tasty, so there you go. You make a nice meal.
Die.
Don't poison yourself, and then you poison the others
No,
that eat
I want to take people out like that.
yeah.
That's how I'm going.
Okay, the blaze of poison glory.
I'm not trying to like make myself healthy for someone to eat me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
See, I
but the
would do
leaner
that.
you are, the less appetizing you are.
Ooh,
fair enough.
Well, there we go.
So then people won't want to eat you. Yeah.
Either way, I'm going out pretty
I'm
quick
gonna
on my
just
own
plump
terms.
myself up, and then my family can eat me.
Yeah,
because they can run.
No,
and
you're
carry
going through your
things.
bulking phase.
My
for
bulking
your
phase.
Yeah, bulking phase
for the
kids
end
to
days.
survive. For the hope that one day your kids, if it's the apocalypse, will become cannibals.
Yeah,
That's
and eat their
lovely.
mother.
That's very love. That's a lot of love right
I
there.
could write these novels.
You should.
We just have to make it like emotional enough that you're like they made the right choice when they ate their mom.
Yeah.
There.
Is that or death? What do we pick? I'm like,
Okay, so yeah, I feel like the galaxy is so big. There has to be some, and if they come, it's because they need resources, or we are tasty, or something.
Yeah, I don't think they'd ever come. As much I like the Star Trek idea that they would actually come in peace and we could all expand the universe and study it and travel the cosmos.
But that was made in the
Unfortunately-
60s.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's more like it's more like Independence Day than it is Star Trek.
I think so too, and I also feel like if there are like life forms coming to visit now, but I'm told that's not true. It's actually teenagers who aren't supposed to be here, and they just like stole mom and dad's vehicle.
That would be the greatest
And
irony of all.
I have teenage boys. This is like I feel like if I'm noticing how beings
Honestly,
work.
that feels too accurate.
It's like when you're not supposed to go to the old mansion.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, let's check out this backwater planet called Earth, these idiots. And it's like, all right, cool. And then they just bomb us for no reason. Like that probably will happen.
Elvis.
Yeah.
Tell us.
I feel like
when did you first experience
my
your
dad was super
connection?
into it. I listened to the cassettes when I was little, and then in high school I stopped caring about it because you can't like it's like lame. And then years went by, and then I was in Memphis, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember like an Elvis. I'll go to Graceland, see what that's all about. And then the second I got there, it was the most like creatively inspiring place I've ever been. I was like, whoa, I get it now. And then that like reawoke this like weird obsession I had with him.
Paint a picture. You're at Graceland?
Yeah,
and
his
you got
house in Memphis.
His house in Memphis.
And I was by myself. I was there for a comedy show. And then I just find the thing to do in that town.
Yeah.
I love going to shows by myself. I'll travel by myself. I was like, oh, I'll go to Elvis's house, see what that's all about. And as soon as I got there, I was like, I feel at home. This is where I belong. It felt very like, I don't want to be like lame and like, you know when like you go somewhere and you're like you felt like you've been there before but you haven't.
Of course.
I didn't want to be like, it was like super deja vu, almost like a reincarnation sort of thing. I'm like, oh, I remember this place. It was
That's
very
so cool.
strange. And
so
then
maybe you were part of his family or him, or you worked with
Maybe.
him. Wait, when did he die and when were you born?
76.
We're born the same year.
Maybe you're Elvis.
Maybe I'm Elvis. No, you were.
No, I was
he died.
born in 2007.
Okay, that makes sense because you are way younger than I am, and I'm like, what's happening? Are you a forever puppy?
No, I'm.
Okay.
I'm.
So Elvis was died in 76. That's the year I was born.
Mm.
The soul needs to regroup before it gets reincarnated.
Yeah. Well, there's also like the egg theory and the string theory and everything. So we're like, really, there's only one consciousness, and we're all just beings of that experiencing consciousness through itself. I did a horrible job of explaining it.
Yeah.
But basically, we're all one soul, just like popping up on Earth and then experiencing Earth through the eyes of that one specific person. So it's kind of like everyone's been everyone.
Uh-huh.
Now, did you think of this when you were crushing up pills and snorting hot glue?
Yeah.
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 You're like, it's all coming to me now.
Yeah, I was like, I got the answers.
Yeah.
She was like, you and this man had a soul tie. And I go,
Yes, like and subscribe. I'm in. Let's go.
So
Soul
she
tie.
goes, you had a soul tie. And she's like,
you've known him across many, many centuries. And she goes, in my head, I am seeing the French Revolution. There was war. And she was like, you were bringing him bread. And I was like, what? And I was
Did
like,
she have like a scarf on her
no,
head?
this was all
and
over
a
the
ball?
phone. This was over the
my
phone.
gosh.
And so I was
You're
like,
doing the voice perfectly.
and I'm just going, I was like, I mean, I didn't bring him food in real life. So that's how I know this can't be real. Like she was like, but yes, many, many generations. And one of the scenes she was describing, I was like, are you talking about The Color Purple? Because that's what it sounds
She's just like
I was
going through her DVD
I was
collection.
like, this isn't. I said, I don't trust this lady.
You built a baseball field in your cornfield so the ghosts could come for him to have his baseball.
Yes. Yeah. And I just,
and then you adopted a pig and you trained
Yes,
it to
basically.
retrieve the sheep.
You were a singer and he was your bodyguard.
right. You were lifted up in the air, and then I will always love you. Is what he said.
You are leaving money on the table by not having a psychic number that people can call with their 1-800 number, give you their credit card. Your voice is perfect at this. You got to put, do you have like a reel you send out for parts?
I feel.
Yeah.
You said a what?
A reel you send out for like getting parts?
I should probably do that. Like, hello. Let me look through my collection. Yes. And it's just, all plots of movies.
Yeah, honestly,
absolutely.
that'd be really, because like if someone starts to just like call you out on you, like the connection is getting weaker.
Oh,
I've already charged your credit card.
Right, my streaming service is going out. I have no access to plots.
Okay, so have you ever made your own clothes? That was your cape.
My grandmother made me
Yeah, well, that's just charming. That's not like you like saying like I can't find what I want.
No.
I have to express myself.
No.
I'm going God.
Wait, there's no expressing yourself. Listen, I'm wearing clothes so that I don't become. I'm not naked.
Yes.
That's it's very simple.
That's what clothes are for.
Actually, yeah. So we actually used to wear clothes that were donated by Americans.
Oh.
To Africa, but then some of the clothes we didn't know what we were wearing.
Where they have bad words on them?
Yes. My grandmother had a T-shirt written "Bad Bitch."
That's amazing. I love that.
If she could make clothes, she is a bad bitch. Yeah, she gets shit done.
She used to wear that clothes. Actually, I remember that we had a funeral in my family, and one of my like older people was wearing like a dress that she made from a cloth with Kama Sutra in stick figure.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you can imagine the doors like, and then they're just like, do you know what this is? Just like, yeah, look at these little people, dancing.
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 Wait. Learn more. How did you know it was the Kama Sutra?
Now, listen, I was dirty minded. Okay, I knew because I was practicing it.
Was it a book? Did you have like the book, or were you online on it?
No, it was. I was older by that time.
Okay.
That happened, so no, I wasn't.
You'd seen the world.
Yeah, I
and
was like
Veil.
seeing the world in Veil. Yes.
Okay. Have you ever written fan fiction? Do you know what fan fiction is?
No.
Someone had to tell it to me. It's when like you read a story and you're like, oh my God, I need to continue this story.
No,
and so you write your own novel about the next
Interesting.
thing about Star Wars or
I've
Little
never
House
done
on the
that.
Prairie.
I didn't know that was an option. Honestly, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can.
White people have too much time.
Yes.
That's it.
You're like, I don't think this movie ended. Let me write my own.
Your own ending.
Lived
And people
happy.
post it online, and then some people be like, yeah, this is better.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that was an option, honestly.
I have an idea for you. You can write fan fiction for the Kama Sutra.
Yes.
That's called smut, and there's a lot of money in it. You can write.
Yeah.
All of my voice actor friends, a lot of their money comes from narrating like dirty novels.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of money.
Nice.
A lot. But it turns out not everybody, but most people pretty horny.
Oh.
Some
I'm
people not horny at all.
familiar.
Shout out to the ace community.
I walk into the room glistening with oil on my chest.
That voice right now, we're about to we're gonna see on the algorithm. They're like, and at this moment, we had a spike.
Oh
we had a spike in listeners.
Dude, clip it. We got to clip
Clip
it. All oily. I'm going to slide off this chair.
Exactly. And all the women slid off their chairs.
from all the oil.
Exactly.
If comedy doesn't work out, you have a career in erotic narration.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'll take that.
What about, okay, this is turning into a medical show.
I know.
Have you heard about the thing where they take some poo-poo out of someone's, like your spouse's poo-poo area, and they put it in your tummy so that you can get the flora and the fauna?
Why your spouses?
Because it's someone like, or someone related to you or something like that. Like it's not a stranger's poo-poo, I guess.
Now, is this a doctor or is this a man on the street who's like, if you come back in this van, I'll take some shit and I'll put it in your stomach.
It does sound
some poo-poo in
I
you.
do have to be nude for this procedure, and that's because of science.
Because I do feel like it sounds like I got hoodwinked. I got bamboozled in a van.
Did you do it?
No, I've heard about it. It's because they're talking about the people's tummies being messed up and like their immune system's getting affected by it, and they need a dose of
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They need a shot of shit.
Wow. I mean, no, I have not heard of that.
If any of you Nerdy 4 listeners out there have
I'm gonna Google this.
have gotten some poop put in you, let us know.
If I were going to do that, I would like interview people. Like it would be a really...
Tell me about the last 10 meals you've had.
Yeah.
And do you call your mother?
They would have to apply. It'd be like picking a sperm donor.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Like, where did you go to college?
Yeah, where did your shit go to college?
Or do you have it like, see if they're a healthy person too, if their flora and fauna are causing them to have reactions to the food that they eat.
How can I trust what you're eating?
Fecal transplantation is a procedure to collect feces, also called stool or poop, from a healthy donor and introduce them into a patient's gastrointestinal tract. The procedure can control an infection called Clostridium difficile or C. diff by adding healthy bacteria into recipients' intestines. And this is from johnhopkinsmedicine.org, which is fucking wild. Because I thought somebody was
just... It was a Pornhub?
Yeah. I'm like, and this is from Dr. Boner. No, this is actually on John Hopkins' website, which is wild. So fecal transplant
is a thing.
Is a thing.
That's crazy.
I hang out with just enough intelligent people that I get enough information to put my foot in it. Like I get like a little glimpse.
Put your foot in it?
Literally, I get like a little bit of what's happening, and I memorize it wrong, and I share it with people.
Yeah.
I spread misinformation. Do you want to talk about depression? It's fun when you're not in it. Are you in it right now?
I'm diagnosed with major depressive disorder, so technically I'm always in it, which is
not to brag.
Not to brag. Which is different from clinical depression, which is like a bout of depression that can strike anybody. Oh, you don't know. The call's coming from inside the house. But major depressive disorder is what I was diagnosed with at the age of 16. And because I tried to kill myself.
It's more fun when you say it like you're from the 20s. Oh, this transcontinental line coming through. What's that? Depression.
So,
please hold the wire.
I tried to Hindenburg myself. Okay, so.
Kablooey.
So major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder. Those are my official diagnoses. From a very lovely psychologist who I saw on again, off again for the next like 10 years. And yeah, because I would feel fine, and then I wouldn't be fine. I'd
like
go back
Rachel
and see her
and
again.
Ross.
Just like, hey girl, guess what happened? Oh, I did it again.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so
was she a good therapist or
amazing? She's
okay.
Amazing.
So Matthew's still here today, so that's proof.
She's either a great psychologist or I'm just like really bad at killing myself.
Oh, baby.
That's just added to the list I can't do.
You know,
something else to be depressed about.
Jesus Christmas. Welcome to Nerdy 4. This is going to be a very interesting episode because against all better judgment I have of myself and everything I believe in the world, I've often said I want my children to grow up to be just good people, and that means not being adult Disney people. I have invited the enemy into my home, into my costume closet. I have invited my two dear friends who are adult Disney people, and if you're listening, you should go and get on YouTube right now and look at what they're wearing and what they're holding. these so quote unquote called adults are sitting in this room with their baby dolls and their special sippy cups and their hats. And I think actually I'm being a jerk, but
This is a good way to start out a show. Is you're like, my two guests can eat fucking shit and die.
All are terrible people for liking Disney. That's what you got out of
That's
that,
what
right?
I heard. That's what I heard. I
It's-
don't know.
I'm very sensitive about this because I'm a musical theater nerd, and we're not the same thing as adult Disney people. And I brought you here to explain yourselves.
I feel like we could argue that. I feel like we can argue that there's some theater kids that are following around Hamilton right now doing the exact same thing. So.
I was about to say, Jose, I love your stitch. We need you to get a little closer to the microphone.
Yes,
but you're
I
good.
figured
You're
that
good.
much. And then it's also hot as crap.
Yeah.
Oh, your baby doll was making your lap hot? Okay.
We're in your costume closet, Miss High Horse.
I was
right
gonna
now.
say behind those doors.
I feel I get very defensive and vulnerable around adult Disney people. I'm trying to pinpoint why. It might be because I'm turning into one. Is actually what be happening.
This is coming from someone who has asked me to go to Disney with them. So there's a lot of confusion in my heart right
and
now.
she has gone to Disney
I
with
have.
me.
This is why day drinking is very dangerous. My friends got me drunk on a Sunday afternoon in May. This is a true story. I got so hammered. We all these adult women agreed to go to Disney World so we could take Jose.
I'm part of the adult women.
Yes, and I had a really good time. I had the best time adult Disney. With
You're welcome.
going to Disney World without any kids, I actually recommend it highly.
100%. I don't have any kids, so it's. I love solo trips.
That's what
I have to introduce my guest.
It sounds like you're like one of the homophobic pundits where you're like, it's just all these sweaty men on top of each other just doing these acts. You're like, now what if you try it and not hate it as much?
Stop making me think about hard dicks. You love sweets.
Mhm.
You named a bunch. You have cavities. Do you still have cavities?
I still have cavities.
You're eating ice cream.
Yeah.
You are a normal weight now. Is this new?
Well, my doctor wouldn't say normal. Actually, I lied. I don't have a doctor. But I tried to feel cool in here in front of the art. I don't have a doctor.
How's comedy going?
Comedy's going well.
Good.
Comedy's going well. It's a
How
good
far
season.
in comedy do you go when you get the doctor?
I'll tell you when I see it. If I don't have a van and my shirt off on Netflix, I don't know.
Heyo, like Bert Kreischer.
I'm not using names. I'm just saying.
I've thought about that. And I wonder if any, I have to get holler here. I wonder if any women have taken their shirt off to be like the female Bert Kreischer.
Maybe Whitney Cummings.
Yeah,
she's had her pants off a lot the last few years. I feel like she's been real free.
She's real free. You're right. She's just out there.
Yeah,
Good for her.
Good for her.
So you met Katoya. You're in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You are full-time comedy now.
Full-time comedy.
Do you want to
yeah.
talk about comedy?
Let's
Or do you want to talk more about sweets? Do you want to hear about my sweets?
I'm here.
What's your favorite current sweet though?
Oh,
real
yes, a good
quick?
one. Yeah.
What's your favorite current one?
Current sweet right now. Right now, I'm actually back in the candy bars right now.
Ooh, Oh my okay.
That's what I'm back. So right now, I've had 100 grand 2 times in the last 2 weeks, which is a good rate for me. If I get one candy bar a week, I'm doing okay.
You're like Willy Wonka. You're gonna start a factory?
I could.
I know what to
could.
get you for Christmas.
I could. You please do that. Now it's got to be good chocolate though. I think white
100
chocolate.
gram bar is good chocolate.
White chocolate is we're not here
White
for that.
chocolate.
White chocolate is.
That's for people who are allergic to caffeine.
Ugh.
It's a health food for
It's the megabus of chocolate. If I'm honest with you out here, I'm not a fan of
a
it.
megabus.
Yeah, you never been on a no.
The way she said that.
It sounds fun.
Megabus.
What's a megabus? It sounds like a big
It's
bus.
not fun
Is there
at all.
shopping? Is there
No,
a
no.
pizza oven
No.
and the megabus?
You've tried to make this into a mall court. It is
Yeah,
none of the
now,
things.
now I'm thinking we should start a business where we try to get rich people to ride the mega bus
Oh,
and make
that
them
would be
think
a
it's
time.
it's a fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they're like, oh, it's like camping.
Yeah.
You know. Have you ever had to go somewhere you only have $12 but you do have 2 days?
Are the drugs free? That's what I'm worried about.
No.
No,
And
the
they're
drugs
not
aren't free.
quality either.
No, nor does the bathroom
Fentanyl
work.
favorite. Ketamine. What's the thing that's getting in all the drugs right now? Anyone here? know?
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl. And what's ketamine?
You do drugs? What you doing over here?
I
Annie?
don't do drugs.
Ketamine's a
My
tranquilizer.
drug is vodka
Ooh,
and cheese dip.
Vodka and cheese dip.
Fentanyl.
That's a good combo.
You
It's
drink
tough.
in Comfort Plus.
But they're free. That's why you get
What do you
Comfort
drink
Plus.
on a plane?
What don't I drink? It depends what mood. I would love to. Okay, these are my pairings.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when you could get cheese at crackers
Yeah.
and a white wine. That's a pairing.
I can't drink Coach class wine. I'm sorry.
Oh, you aren't desperate enough. I can do Biscoff.
Listen, no, like bourbon, like, you know, if I drank bourbon, I could drink what they serve
They have
in
Woodford.
economy comfort.
They have Woodford Reserve on there
Right,
in
but
a
I'm
cute
saying,
little
but they don't have the
bottle.
same kind of, like the wine in first class or business class is 10 times better than the wine
See,
a few hours back.
I did not even notice that.
I don't like
just
drinking-
It just goes in the wine hole, and I tell my brain to shut up about it.
Right.
I watched the parade, the Delta people.
Oh, really?
It was a lot. Shocker. There's a lot of.
They go out of their way for the
It was wonderful.
for the visual.
It made me proud to be Diamond. Hey, see how I
All
worked that
right,
in? I
that's
worked
good
that
job.
in.
And it's not even written down right here. I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
It doesn't say callback.
I just got it on Saturday.
You did?
It's my first time. Have
Oh,
you ever been,
congrats. I have been.
Yes.
It's been a while. It was back when I traveled like that. But
Was it long ago enough that you got blowjobs and stuff? Like, what was
it
going
wasn't
on?
that long ago. Yeah, it is harder.
I don't know what I get.
Coach.
It's harder in coach. I don't even know what I'm supposed to get.
You should get whatever you want. Make sure you make a big deal about everything.
Okay.
Find out what they have and then ask for something they don't have. That's what.
Oh, can we do a role play for this?
Yeah, we can.
Like, ask me. Okay. Do you have any bourbon?
No, actually, I'm sorry. It's the only thing we don't have.
Oh, but I really could go for some Pappy Van Winkle. It's only $1,000 a bottle.
We're actually going to refuel in about 500 miles in air, and I'm going to have them bring it right over to you. The people in the back don't even know it's happening.
I'm having a medical emergency because I can't have Pappy Van Winkle right now. You need to pull this plane over right now.
Well, we'll pull it over, but just to let you know, I'm also having a medical emergency at how beautiful you are.
You're some kind of customer service.
Thank you.
You'd make a great flight attendant. So they filmed it all in New Zealand, and he had a what's that, like a metal building poor people live in?
A metal building?
It's
That's a jail.
No, a trailer. And
oh my God. I've heard you say some of the richest, most disconnected things.
Metal building for poor people.
Oh my God, this
I
is
didn't
next
say-
level.
I didn't say tornado magnet.
Did y'all just move up a tax bracket or something recently? That is
A metal building is if nobody else has trailers. There's no such thing as camping.
Horses have trailers.
Okay, horses and poor people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
So he had a trailer.
You know those things
Yeah.
are like this is like metal squares, and I think
Yeah.
humans live in them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get an oil
not
change on the house.
What's that weird green paper thing that poor people use for money? Oh
That's
yeah,
not my
cash.
joke.
Ugh.
Cash.
Oof, get your fingers dirty.
Ugh. Can you imagine buying a car that runs on
Yeah.
gasoline?
Have you heard of this thing called monthly payments?
We do everything quarterly.
I took a shot of oil before I left the house. Crude oil.
What's that metal thing?
Then
That
I
is
Comes
great.
out of the backyard.
I spat it up.
No, spit
Yeah.
it. No, you don't spit it up.
I can't wait for you. What time of year do y'all drain your pool and fill it up with coins?
Diamonds?
Yeah, diamonds and coins so you can Scrooge
It's when
McDuck yourself
Puff
in the
Daddy
backyard.
comes over. The Kardashians come
Yeah.
over. They swim once a year in our diamond pool. It's how they exfoliate, and it's how they stay young forever.
Did the Kardashians do drown prevention?
They don't need to. They have so many
No,
flotation
they-
devices
I
already
feel like-
installed.
I feel like-
They use so much.
I feel like the Kardashians didn't have a lot of hands-on parental experiences, and it explains a lot.
They might have had a nanny. You don't know their life.
That's not the same. That's a nanny. Not bad mouthing nannies, but that is different.
It takes a village, and sometimes the village is expensive.
Yeah, it takes a village, and then two people in that village to not really associate with them, the ones that should associate the most.
Oh my gosh, you guys! Okay, this is a little inside baseball,
Perfect.
but sometimes
Sports reference.
when children
Ooh.
are raised by nannies and the nanny has an accent, the child starts having the accent.
Yeah,
I wanted that,
That makes
so
so much
bad.
sense.
I talked to one of the kids I nannied in an Irish accent to see if I
Oh,
could get him.
did it work?
No,
Oh.
but he was. Yeah,
You weren't there long enough.
I also don't think
the
I have a
parents
good-
must have been.
Yeah, I think we're
engaged.
talking like full-time nannies.
yeah.
here.
Every weekend he would reset back to an American accent. I'm like, all
Ugh.
that work,
all that work,
all that work.
all that Guinness. Okay, baby Guinness.
Baby Guinness.
If you're not from Atlanta, you don't know. When you move here, they make you play tennis. It's obligatory.
Obligatory.
That's
yeah.
it. And
They do,
they
you're
put a
right.
tennis. Like, you welcome to Atlanta. here's some pimento cheese. Heads up, your ass is about to get huge. And here's a tennis racket.
And we want you to play tennis in what feels like hell.
It's so hot. It's so hot. Yes, you got to burn off that pimento cheese. Yeah. And because
sweat it out.
There's a thing called ALTA, Atlanta Lawn and Tennis Association.
That's right.
So Atlanta actually has the biggest amount of tennis players per capita in the world.
Oh, I did not know that.
Because of ALTA.
Okay.
Super fun. Lots of doubles. There are women in their 90s out there playing tennis. They look like they can't open a can of tuna fish, but they can put the ball wherever they want to on the court. If you get it to them, watch out. You're dead. It's over. So this is what I want to be when I grow up. But like some women take it too seriously, especially the Thursday ladies. You know who you are.
You know who you are.
And
the first line ladies.
The first line Thursday ladies. They get too crazy, and I'm like, look, I'm just happy to be here. I've got friends with cancer. We're burning calories. We're getting some sun.
Yeah, use that. Use that as your put them in their place.
Yeah. Why are we yelling about a ball being in or out?
In or out.
This is too much.
This just happened to me at pickleball.
Oh, God. Don't even start with pickleball with me. It's ruined all of my friends' tennis games. They stopped turning their shoulders. They stopped moving to the ball. They just kind of bent, like clink, clink.
Yeah,
if you can do something in flip-flops and hammered, it's not a sport. I'm saying it right now, saying it here.
Oh, my God. We are getting so hashtag canceled. No,
I know. Everyone loves it, and I hate all of you who love it.
No, I love pickleball, but I'm not a tennis player, but I love pickleball. But it's same though, because the women that are playing pickleball are older.
Yeah.
And, I actually just talked about this on stage the other day because I'm new to pickleball. And, my nemesis, Gita.
You have a nemesis?
Yes.
That's such a good nemesis name.
I know.
She sounds German.
My nemesis, she's not. My nemesis, Gita, cannot touch her toes, but she can serve 8 straight points in a row on me all day long. And I figured
going to
out.
your backhand? Is that what the problem is?
Well, that is part of the problem. And I also figured out, what the other part of the problem is? Gita is 85 years old.
Yeah.
Her knees are 25 years old.
Oh, she hasn't used them.
My knees are legit 53 years old.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You spend a lot of time on your knees.
Like,
Wink.
wink, wink. I don't. Yeah. I'm dealing with original parts. Okay. Like I'm playing with original parts.
She has knee replacements. That's why her knees are 25 years old.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she didn't give a lot of blowjobs.
No.
Because she's old school.
I'm
Did
great.
you wake up with a mustache after the mental breakdown?
No, I just grew this like 3 weeks ago.
I love it.
This just happened. Like my wife and I went on a trip and I had some stubble and then I just left it.
Yeah.
And now
Right?
it's here.
Now it's here. It's fun.
It's here.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to
It's
happen.
sassy.
I don't have any plans.
Do you feel like a new man?
Well, I don't remember it. And then anytime I see someone who hasn't seen me, they're all like, ugh. And I still catch my wife looking at, we were on a walk before this and she was just kind of looking at me. It's like, she's still like adjusting.
Right.
I think.
It's can get tricky with men's facial hair because I had a friend whose husband like grew out a beard. She's like, ooh, mountain man. And then he like shaved it, parts of it, and she was like, oh, serial killer. Like you have to, yeah. And then he went down to mustache, and she's like, all right, that's better. Yeah.
And I had one at the beginning of my comedy career. That was like when I first started comedy, I had a mustache.
13 years ago.
And then I shaved it.
That was
few
the
years
era of
in.
the French tickler, but you were like, no, I'm gonna do the mustache.
Yes. I leaned all the way in. So it fills out. It does mature. Right now it's still a little it's
pretty
maturing.
robust.
But it has to refine. It's a little scraggly.
Is it gonna
right
change
now.
color? I don't know how mustaches work.
It works like wine, it'll just you know wine. You know wine.
You know what hair does? Like
I just know like the older you get, the weirder hair gets. Like it comes in on weird places.
She's like, is it going to be sentient in a year if you don't
She's
shave
like, you're gonna.
it?
What's his name gonna be?
Feed me. So okay.
Ooh, you're not even noticing the mustache comb right
I'm
now.
getting ready for this round.
Combing his mustache. Do you
Yeah.
get food stuck in that?
Not yet.
How about pussy?
Pause.
Yeah.
You're not dragging me down with you, Amy. This is not my first rodeo. Okay.
Your wife's name's Erin, right?
Yeah.
I met
She's
her
like,
once.
moving on. I believe you had some questions, non-pussy
calling your
related
wife.
questions for me.
I'm
Yeah.
calling your wife. Okay.
She was excited I was coming here.
Yeah, call her. Just be like, your husband's respectable. I couldn't drag him down to my level.
Okay. Have you ever been to a Rush concert?
No, I'm young.
Oh, okay. Ouch.
Yeah, he was like, questions are over.
I want to be the first gay James Bond. Career goal. It's out there now. The openly gay James Bond that they...
Jimmy Bondage. He comes with his own handcuffs. Oh my gosh.
He
Yes.
handcuffed himself. Oh no.
His, poppers, shaken, not stirred.
Yeah. Would you like to go for a ride in my Aston Martin? Poppers,
Money,
shaken, not stirred. Jesus
penny.
Christ. That hit me in a minute.
Help me pick out my outfit. Oh my God. Okay.
M stands for
The idea of all of the gadgets Q's giving
Yeah, I
you.
was like, the Q branch is just a sex shop.
It's just dildos and he's like, and this, you're like, are there poppers in there? Yeah, there's poppers in there. There's definitely some more poppers.
Yeah. What happens when I press this button? The dildo inflates.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
like an airbag. It's for safety and for
He's like,
sex.
here's a harness. You're like, what's this for? Going out?
Yeah.
just
Just to wear. Honestly, it's fun.
Okay, we are getting to be a certain age, you and I. Have you gotten into bird watching yet?
Oh, yes. Put me down for something. Yes. It started in 2020.
Do you have the app? Do you have the app where you take a picture and you collect them all like Pokemons?
Do you have to pay for it? Because if it's free, I'll do it.
I think it's free. Yeah.
I will do that. But yeah, we get a lot of birds in the spring, and I didn't know that.
Do you have a bird
until
feeder?
2020.
Do you have binoculars by the back window? Do you have a
No.
laminated thing that shows you all the birds?
Amy, I could just look at my nests, okay? the way they do around my home, I can see my nests. They don't all go to the high trees. I've watched some cardinals, some robins. And you know what? When you hit 40, you do start to be like, look at them birds. And now I look for them. I look for them every year now. I was like, have they always been doing this in my yard? But it took being home in 2020.
And the age, too.
And it just happened to coincide with me hitting my 40s. And I was home and I'd go outside with my mug of tea. And I was like, look at these birds just mating in my... And now, I know all the birds that come around. I have a friend who actually studied that. She's a scientist
Migrations?
and studied birds as part of her work.
Do you ever come over? And you can be
She's
like,
all the
this
way
is
in Cali, but I
Roberta.
call her and I send her photos and I'm like, talk to me about what these birds are doing. And I've learned a lot. And there is something that happens at this age where you are like, man, birds.
Birds. That's where it's at.
It's real.
I feel like you're young enough. Those two faces are similar. It's
Yeah.
not a resting buckhead face.
Anna says that I'm supposed to get some Botox soon.
She's got a plan for you. That's,
She's like, yeah, I can already see the places where we're gonna do it.
she
And I was
says
just like,
she's looking out for her investment. This is the moneymaker. This beautiful face right
she's
here.
already got me using moisturizer and retinol and all these face products and
good. You gotta take care of your skin.
Nutrafol for my hair.
Ooh.
Sponsor. So yeah, she's trying to keep me exactly the same.
Yeah,
I guess.
she liked you at this generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
This vintage.
She says I'm gonna have crow's feet, which I had to Google. It's not as bad as it sounds. I was like, I'm gonna have what?
Oh my God, that's a good one. Hard 11s. Have you heard of that?
No, where's that
That's
one?
like when the two ones up here.
Oh.
I don't have them because I've had an easy life.
Yeah,
but-
a hard 11. What emotion makes you do the face to give you a hard 11? Because it's all about you smile too much, you frown too much.
Yeah, it's this
It's
you
like
did what?
It's the disgusted look.
Yeah, I think people who live with me have that face.
She's like, why does everyone around me have hard 11s? couldn't be
It's
me.
not my mess. It's not because I made every dish dirty in the kitchen.
Don't express any emotion or feelings. Just kind of keep a completely neutral face. Like you can be happy or sad, but keep it on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's somebody that's so afraid of having wrinkles that they refuse to show any emotion at all.
Yeah,
That's literally what Botox is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm so glad to be. I'm so glad to be here at your wedding.
Yeah, thanks. I am so mad at you.
You can't tell right now, but there's a lot going on inside.
The bride is beautiful.
Well, there's one of those when Jim and Pam get married in the office. They describe her grandmother as she's the only woman over 70 that doesn't have any smile wrinkles.
Oh,
She just hasn't been smiling.
That's hilarious.
How about what's your top 3 favorite things about horses?
I just love how they can fly. And
That's right, beautiful girl. Get your sparkle shoelaces on and go on your flying horse.
Yeah. I love how they can fly, and they do kind of like they can go up from heaven to earth a lot of different times, and how they are the superior species, and they're really majestic, but they're humble. I actually do not genuinely know a lot about horses.
Have you seen a horse boner? Because they're not that majestic.
Have I seen
They
them?
are,
Yeah.
and they're not humble.
They're huge.
They're huge.
But I've seen an elephant one, and that was...
Where did you see an elephant
That was
boner?
truly swaying.
Yeah, in the wind.
Swaying.
Well, keep in mind they're large creatures, proportionate to their sizes. These are normal.
No, it's not like a human male penis to the human male body. The elephant penis is larger.
Well, exactly, because I'm just saying, because proportionate to what
Yeah.
their body, because it has to mount,
It
has to get
retracts.
through.
Right,
Like, there's
that
a
makes
lot
sense.
of different. I'm not saying like it's the same proportions, but you
Yeah,
know,
it has a more difficult path.
Elephant poontang is bigger than regular lady poontang.
Yes.
Proportionally.
Once again, thanks for all of our listeners for this family-friendly show.
Is poontang a bad word?
No,
I saw it on
we're
Caddyshack.
just very we're describing horse
anatomy.
banging.
Yeah.
This is all. I think this is all things that people learn about eventually. We need to get away from these Puritan views.
It's a biology show.
Start talking about horse and elephant penises and how maybe instead of fighting with your neighbor, you bang them. This is
You
what
bang.
this podcast is for.
This is a podcast about world peace.
Well, sometimes when I do describe like what I would want out of a partner, sometimes I realize I'm describing a personal assistant.
Yes, you gotta be careful what you ask of your partner, and that's literally what
Yeah.
the first 3
Yeah.
years of marriage is realizing the limitations of your partner and being like, oh yeah, you're just a person too, and appreciating what they are good at, and then meeting your own
Which is
goddamn
making
needs.
you come and making sure your schedule's on, and then picking up your laundry.
We need to go back to it. Just was a simpler, better time. It seemed when we were all just marrying our cousins. Like, let's get back to it. Keep it in the family. You know, it doesn't have to
Holidays are easier. You don't have to worry about whose family you're gonna go see. It's the one family.
It's mom. That's who we're gonna go see.
Oh, we're talking.
A lot of crazy, dirty friends, Amy. And
I
they
think-
talk a lot of stuff to you.
Amy's horny. And
I'm the dirtiest
She's a
of
little
all of
pervert.
them. I know,
so
I'm
birds
not.
of birds of a
You
feather.
are for sure. There's nothing wrong with
I
it.
just I have the sense of humor of a 13-year-old boy. This is what I'm a.
And also,
Is that how women were? I mean, is that
Women are
if
horny
women are
as
being
shit.
honest? But I'm saying like if women are honest with themselves, because most women try to uphold themselves, somewhat classy. But I think I don't want to say your age. You're 33.
I'm 46.
32.
I'm
Okay.
46
All right,
years
so
old.
at your age,
you
do
cut
you
me in
think-
half. You can count
and
the
no,
rings.
but they do say that's kind of the women's
peak for like
sexual. Yeah. So do you,
That's a good question.
if women are being honest with themselves, do you think you have that mindset of like that maybe I had when I was 15,
Oh,
16
like really
years old?
hornier than so I think my late 30s was more like that.
Okay.
There is like you start releasing more eggs as you age because the body's like abandon ship. She's going down. We got to get some of these babies made, and that's
you
why
naturally become more fertile.
yeah. And last, like you could like not have an egg one and then have two, and like it's just last ditch effort to
Women.
make
So
more
weird.
babies in the world. So that can probably affect hormone levels. Would you like me to draw a chart? I don't talk to my hoo-ha, and I try not to learn about her.
You don't talk to her?
No, we're just acquaintances.
Do you clean her? That's
We have a bidet.
oh, she's clean.
If I sit wrong, it hits the wall. It ricochets. That's disgusting. and it's a mirror.
Now the nerd cleaner in me would be pissed with you that now I have to clean up everything after you leave the restroom.
Yeah.
You're leaving
Hoo-ha
splashes and hoo-ha juice everywhere. I would be pissed. I would take the boudet out of the house. No boudet.
The bidet.
The bidet.
That's a better name for it.
bidet.
Like a booty bidet. Like a
booty
booty.
bidet.
Bidet. Like we.
Yeah, clean your
booty.
Booty. But you're not allowed to use it anymore.
Oh, well. I missed it when we were in Las Vegas. Like, okay. This is what I would like to talk about. Shitty toilet paper.
Oh my gosh. One ply? Who buys that shit?
You use 75,000 ply. You have to like just wrap your hand.
You use half the roll to wipe one time.
One time. And then, God forbid, you get it wet to make a little bit of wet wipe. It disintegrates immediately.
Yep. I want to send a shout out to my mother back home in Beaumont, Texas. She will go to Family Dollar or Dollar Tree and get that one ply toilet paper and just say, it's just me at the house. I don't give a damn.
Oh, well, she got to wash her hands.
And look, when I visit, I was like, listen, I need my own toilet paper.
There's a comedian that travels with toilet paper.
Makes sense.
I was like, this
Travels
makes
with toilet paper?
the good toilet paper. Because I was gone for a week and a half. Every place we went to had shitty toilet paper. And I was like, I can't get clean. I like missed my bidet so much.
Take a shower.
I do. You have to.
You
Then.
do
But
you get used to that bidet clean.
You get used to the bidet clean.
I had an ex that
It
had
makes
a bidet
your
at their
bidet.
house, and then I was like, oh, this is fun, and I started using it when I was over there, and then I was like, man, it's so much easier.
I've never used one.
It's very handy. I mean, most people don't splash water out of it because it ricochets. Like, just sit there like a normal person.
Your junk is in the way.
How are you? Okay, if that's the case, how is Amy missing her
And
butt?
also, they have like some of them have like nozzle adjustment where it hits.
I'm sitting on the toilet wrong. It's dark in there.
Okay. So I didn't know you sat down on the bidet.
Yeah. It's just like it's pretty much just like a like it's same as a toilet bowl, and it just shoots up.
I can show you after this.
I don't want to see it.
It's kind of weird because like a little propeller comes out of the the back of the toilet in the bowl down there. Ours lights up, and then an arm comes out and it shoots, and you can pick booty hole prison, or you can pick booty hole friendly fire, or you can pick hoo-ha. It's a picture of a lady, like a lady with a ponytail. Like, yeah, hit the hoo-ha. Why not? And then there's like a dryer and a heater.
A dryer?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
she's talking about a real fancy one too. There's some that you can just get attachments where it's just spraying water and you can just control like the angle of it. Amy's got like a Japanese toilet, I'm assuming.
We went to Japan, we came back,
Yep.
and we couldn't go back.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Does it tickle when you use it?
Depends. Sometimes. Sometimes it's aggressive.
Have you ever like you
And
know
I
what? I'm gonna
couldn't-
just keep using this bidet to I'm gonna clean myself up.
I couldn't turn it off fast enough, and it was so hard in my beehole, and I was like, I think the inside of my beehole is clean now.
You gave yourself
Yeah,
a colon cleanse.
she got a colon cleanse there.
Yeah, it was a hand like a farm to table colonic. It was a DIY colonic on accident, and it wasn't like there's no off button because it's supposed to be in Japanese or whatever. It's all just pictures, and none of them was like bad touch.
Oh my gosh! Okay, now back to these bidets, and you said it.
Bidets, but
No, I'm saying bidet.
I like
okay?
bidet. I like what you've done
saying-
with it.
I'm going bidet.
I think you should trademark that
'Cause I've never used one.
You should make a line of bidets for black people. Bidets. You could start in New Orleans and work your way across the country, like Boudreaux, Boudet.
yeah.
It sounds like Creole.
It does.
Yeah. Are you from Texas?
I am.
Okay, that's near Louisiana.
Made it. Beaumont, Texas, right?
Let's go. I've got some card stock. We can make a plan.
No, let's not make a plan.
Cardstock makes everything.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm going to pass on that.
Okay. Well, you like cleaning.
I like cleaning.
And you just trademarked
The
bidet.
bidet.
The bidet.
You got to use the bidet.
Your mama buying all her toilet paper at Dollar Tree.
Well,
What
one
you
ply.
need is the bidet.
I'm going to try bidet now. I'm going to find one and use it.
I mean, it's here.
I'm not using this one here. No.
You'd have to get naked.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I didn't hit the table. I'm sorry. What?
I'm messing with you. You don't have to get naked. I just wanted to make you feel uncomfortable
You
in my
gotta
home.
get naked? Okay.
You can use the one here though, because it's not like it's like the wand doesn't come out and like touch your parts. It's just squirting onto them.
It's the same as touching.
Well, I was gonna say any bidet you use though will have
Yeah, it's good. I
you
want
gotta
to
get a
use
fresh one. Like
Amy's violated hers. I don't want to use.
That's fair. I could see.
It's
I
been
could see
to
it.
It's
Okay, never
the other
mind.
side of the moon.
Okay,
Get it, moon?
Moon. That boudet has seen some things.
Yeah, it has to go to therapy now. Maybe you should do like a hysterectomy show. How many women have had hysterectomies? I know my grandmother did.
Everyone in my family has that. Maybe
is that Texas?
Maybe it's like in the DNA.
Medicine?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. They're like, you can have babies or you cannot have a uterus.
We're gonna take out your uterus. We're gonna barbecue it real good. It's gonna have a vinegar sauce.
Yeah, if you're not gonna use it, you can't have it.
Lady parts.
Yeah,
they really like to brand their lady parts.
They do. Yeah. I was in Georgia, but like my mom, my grandmother, aunt, sister, all of them, like we are a no uterus family.
Do y'all have like the same gynecologist? Or?
No.
Was it all similar problems with just like the
fibroids?
And like endometriosis, all that. All that sexy stuff. Yeah. We all had that.
Wow. Sorry to all the listeners out there finding out that women are more than uteruses.
That's right. It's more than tits and clits, guys.
Yeah.
Tits and clits.
I needed a new bathing suit, and I was getting these ads for a website called Swimshy or Swimshy. I never know how to pronounce any of this stuff.
Oh.
And they all looked gorgeous, and then I ordered 2, and they're like, free returns. There's not free returns. And I have to ship them back to China.
Yeah.
So I just had so I tried one on, looked great. The other one, and when I tell you it was vagina-y, I'm like, who has a vagina this small? I'm like, my vagina is not huge. Like, this is not gonna. I don't know who fits into
Chinese
this.
vagina.
Right. It's like young, tiny
vagina.
vagina.
Ask your older son. I'm sure he's an expert by now.
I don't know. I just like. I
He's
think
done a lot of online research.
I think it's made for petite vaginas and not regular vaginas. They should.
The petite vagina line.
Yeah, like they should. They have like the inseam on pants. Like they need like. And they have measurements on there. They need the size guide for like your vagina girth because I don't know who would fit into. And there's only so much shaving I can do.
Oh my gosh! Do you remember? Like, did you ever? I used one of my mom's pads one time when I was like a teenager, and I couldn't even walk. I felt like a cowboy, just like I couldn't
took
get
like
my
a
legs
couch
to
cushion in between your legs.
Yeah, I was walking like John Wayne. Like, how does she survive this? I was in a Caribbean place and they don't have really good security there, and they were going through everyone's luggage, and the person in front of me, this husband and a wife, this guy was going through their luggage, just every nook and cranny. And then he found like a koozie for, holding a drink, inside of a koozie, inside of that, a little vibrator. He pulled
it. Hit it?
Well, she did. She was like just packing her stuff in her little, my little no goes in the and then this guy with his hands touched all of her stuff, and my heart ached. I'm like, it's okay. I got one too in my bag, lady. I feel you. I just wanted to like hug her with my energy.
You should have done like a Spartacus moment and held up your vibrator.
Yes.
Everybody held up their
and then we stood on our desks, and my captain
in unity.
And then,
Dead Poet Society.
And that's why I'm on the no-fly list now.
And then one time I was walking in the airport with my luggage, and I was pulling it, and I was like,
tripped
why?
over a dildo.
Why is this airport vibrating? This airport. Is there like a big factory nearby? And it was my suitcase. My suitcase, the thing in my suitcase got activated somehow. Yeah. When I had to put in my first tampon, I read on the box that I had 3 holes altogether. I read it on the tampon box. I immediately passed out on the ground.
Yeah.
And I woke up. Luckily, my parents put shag carpeting in the bathroom, so it was a soft landing. And I was like, "What's happening? Why?"
What did you think was down there?
I don't know. Sin.
I was going to say, I was like, she grew up in the era of shame is down there.
Yeah.
Actually, no,
you
it
don't
wasn't
get
even
to-
propagated at home. I was just scary. I don't
Your
know.
mom is
Everything's
like
on
a judge.
Yes.
We're not
But
uneducated.
she never used a tampon her whole life.
Really?
What did she use?
A big old pad
Oh, a
with
pad.
wings. It
Ah.
could fly like a pterodactyl. We used it during the floods of 1910 to save the village. I am
special-
so excited.
Yeah.
How do you count the words
So
in a
here's the
special?
thing.
Do you type it
Here's-
up? Do you
here's
have
the
your
thing.
like the computer talk to AI and it types it up?
In the Googles,
In the
you
Googles?
can just
Googles,
On the onlines?
in the Googles, on the online's internets that
Where all the porn is? I'm not allowed on there.
We just gotta stop looking at porn long enough to look up anything else.
I'm Quaker.
where Al Gore discovered it. When you go to that thing that Al Gore
What was he
discovered,
looking for on there?
I don't know if this was what he was looking for, but this is what I use it for. You can just type in script for Netflix specials, and it just shows you every
Maybe
single
that's
word
how
that
they put it in the the Congress,
the
Library of Congress.
It's the same way as like you're looking for like the screen script for a film.
Three-titted ladies. No, I'm sorry. I didn't know which.
Yeah.
I didn't know your search.
Yeah.
BBW?
I need to look for
You're supposed
three-titted
to just put a
ladies.
It's just gonna link you to the
I'm a
Arnold
Total Recall
Schwarzenegger.
fan.
There we go. I was literally just about to say, and I will say it's not they didn't do that in the remake.
They sure didn't.
And I didn't watch it because I did find, I was like, hey, did they? And they're like, no. And I was like,
We're
why
only
would
here
I?
for the three-titted lady. It was burned
Why
on my
would
psyche
I?
as a child.
Why would I? That was like the first movie I actually saw at a movie theater, and I was a young boy, and I was like, how is that possible?
You're like,
So,
I'm going.
I was like,
up into space,
I was like,
y'all.
all you girls in this elementary school are not doing it for me. I'm going to need somebody
You need some
with
radiation, bitches. I'm going to Chernobyl.
When you're in Atlanta and you're driving around, you see one of them high-rise nursing homes full of the clap.
That's so good to know. So
Yeah.
shout out anyone who's thinking they're going to go to the old folks' home and just have a free, fun, wonderful afternoon.
Well,
Day drink.
Every old woman, and I hate to.
No.
This is
weigh in.
Your vagina after menopause, it dries up and shrinks.
The quote to me when I was playing tennis at the country club was, Amy, it turns into sandpaper. And then we had to play keep hitting the ball.
Yeah. So if you're in an old folks' home and you ask your grandmother, Grandma, do we need to get you something for your dry? And she goes, no, I'm fine. It's nice and juicy down there. She's full of the clap.
Why are you talking to your grandma like this?
You don't
she's
talk to your
full of
grandma
that means she's full of the clap.
They should be dry. And if it's not,
It's okay. What is the clap? I'm not a sailor from the
Gonorrhea.
20s.
Gonorrhea.
What's gonorrhea?
It's a bacterial infection.
Okay. It's like pink eye for your vagina?
Well, except with a lot of pus.
Pink eye. It's pink eye for the vagina.
There you go. Yeah. But, it makes their vagina nice and slick.
But does it itch? It sounds like it'd be itched and owie.
It
Inflammation.
smells really bad. Oh, it smells. They say it smells like fish and bananas. Sorry.
Isn't that what every vagina smells
Yes. No, they don't. They need Lumi. I love Lumi. But no, it does itch. It does itch.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not. And trichomonas is the really itchy one. That's the one with the little. Yeah, it's white. It looks gray, slimy, and when you put it under a microscope, you see people swimming around. Not people. You see little bugs swimming around and waving.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd make a great gynecologist for older ladies.
I've seen a lot of old vaginas, but they're very, the amount that they shrink up. It is unbelievable.
Well, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Well, and they dry up, and then when they dry without the, it's like what do you moisten to make bigger? It's, the little, like a sponge when you don't use it and it's dry.
Yeah.
And it just goes into that, and you put water in it, and there
it pops up.
It's like a vagina.
That's fascinating. Yeah. You know more about lady paraphernalia than I do.
I've been taking care of old lady vaginas for 32 years.
Do you offer this to the public? You have a Instagram site?
I don't want that on
Is that a pimple popper?
No.
Pussy popper?
Yeah, just
Gay
start a TikTok.
Oh, God.
And just share. Actually, I gotta say, I was saying this joke, but just an old sassy gay man talking about elderly vagina maintenance would kill.
I know.
You would blow
murder.
up right away.
Yeah.
Let's reverse
like
that
and
out.
subscribe because you're
An
fun.
old sassy.
I
got nothing
middle-aged,
else. I'm gonna die soon. So I'll talk about vaginas.
I think that would be because you're coming at it like a friend and not a judgy heterosexual person or a young whippersnapper.
Yeah, you're
lady
not saying
gyno.
not to bang. You're just trying
they
to
need to bang.
take better care of your vagina.
And you're using slang so they understand, like, oh no, it's smelling like bananas and fish again. I got the gay bomb pussy popping.
So we recently, where I am now, we had a sex talk, and only women, of course, showed up. And the old women in this place said they have been told their entire life that old men after 65 their cum is filled with worms. Have you heard this?
No.
What?
And so I looked at the doctor telling it, and I was like, "Listen, dude, I don't know who these. And they all raised their hand. Yes, we were told that. So their mothers told in the South told them old men after 60. So, cause I guess they were trying to fuck the kids.
That's one way to get away from an old man.
Yeah, but they all believe it. It's the craziest thing.
That's wild.
It is, and I know I had never heard that in all my years of working with old people.
And you're from the South and everything.
I know. Well, I've got worms. I don't know. I thought it was normal.
It's from doing it in the forest so much.
I have a podcast with my wife called F the Joneses. My wife, although she's a physician, she's also a life coach.
It sounds like gangbangs. That can't be the first person to make that joke.
You are.
Really?
Most people hear
other people respect Yoshi and his wife.
Most people hear F the Joneses and are like,
She's
"Oh my God, that's really cool!"
swinger?
Just to say F the Joneses.
Swinger lifestyle.
But yes, it's a podcast about really like just what we did a couple years ago, which was we basically decided to like sort of downgrade our house, move to the suburbs. We sold our car. Like we just did things to make sure that we were living for us.
Yeah.
And so literally it was like we were like,
preach
F the Joneses.
Yeah.
And we started the podcast like kind of during the pandemic, just being like, let's live for us. So we did that. I've got that podcast, and then I also do the Hot Breath podcast with Joel Byers, which is a comedy podcast. We do that every single week.
On YouTube, and it's live, and you can log on and you can ask questions.
Yes, it is the Hot Breath Comedy Network.
If you make a little like reminder when you're YouTubing, it'll pop up, and you're like, you know what? I'm on the toilet, but I also want to see what Yoshi and Joel are doing.
What a great plug! A podcast you can watch and listen to on the toilet.
You know what? The toilet is not just for Facebook and Instagram. We're branching out. It's for YouTube, and this podcast is on YouTube. All of my friends who aren't watching it on YouTube.
Yes.